Okay, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Proper Football Podcast. We're back, and there's been exciting games this
Doesn't
week.
sound too excited in your voice, brother.
Yeah, I'm not feeling too well today.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, so I'm
definitely
gonna talk today. But Liverpool
Liverpool.
was exciting though.
Yeah, I mean we'll go through the
News-
scoreline summary, newscast. We'll go through a little bit of La Liga today, a little bit of EPL. We'll dibble dabble a little bit. We like to touch all four corners of the earth. So let's
Ready to
start
go?
with the newscast.
All
But
right.
before we do anything, if you're watching this right now, make sure you like this video. If you're watching on podcast streaming platforms, make sure you give us a 5-star rating. Super important so that we can continue to release more content like this. Let us know what you like in the comments. If you like our stuff, share this with your friends and family members to support the channel. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe. Let us know that you'd like to join a community. We'll welcome you with open arms, and we'll love to grow this channel into the millions. And you can be one of the founding members, I guess you can say.
Founding members.
Do us that favor, and let's get into the
Yeah.
newscast.
I like that. All right, so we're gonna start with the newscast. First place, Liverpool wins 2-1. Harvey Elliott scores a last-minute goal to decide the winning. Let's see, we got 1-1 Brighton and Burnley.
A little
We
disappointing for Brighton, huh?
A little bit, but Burnley's been surprising me lately these days. I mean, they've been getting results, so good for them.
All right.
Bournemouth versus United. Bournemouth take 3 points, and they scored 3 goals
At
Wow.
Old Trafford.
at Old Trafford.
Madness.
Little disappointing. Well, not a little. Very disappointing for United, but I don't want to go with the United slander. You know what I'm saying? We already know what they've been doing and what they haven't been doing. But Bruno Fernandes is out next game against Liverpool.
And I have him in my fantasy. I have big problems.
That's great. We love to hear it. We also have Sheffield United versus Brentford. Sheffield United win 1-0. And we also have Wolves and Nottingham Forest 1-1.
Not bad. One of the games of the week. I guess I'll save that one for last. I'll start off with my club. My club, we travel over to Goodison Park and face Everton. When we take a loss, a big loss, 2-0. Just a disappointing display for Chelsea. They lose. Fulham score 5 against West Ham. That's 2 games in a row scoring 5.
Yeah, that one
against their
surprised me, though. Like,
I don't know what's
against
going on.
West Ham, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not trying to count Fulham out, but against West Ham,
Kind of crazy.
I feel like every week someone's been getting spanked. Recent weeks.
Waiting for Liverpool, man. Probably won't happen against Man U next week, but yeah, Liverpool's in first. They're looking strong, and Chelsea's looking the exact opposite. Very weak, man.
12th place? Wow. That's tough.
Yeah, we'll talk about that another day.
Yeah.
Like I said, Fulham 5, West Ham 0. Luton and Manchester City, surprising game. Man City come from behind and win 2-1 away. And Tottenham, they put 4 against a depleted and tired Newcastle. They end up winning 4-1 and sacrificing a clean sheet at the end with the lazy mistake. And the game of the week, a lot of people would say, or one of the games of the week, and we'll go more in depth into this game, Aston Villa take a 1-0 win and keep a clean sheet against former leaders, Arsenal. So they win 1-0. Aston Villa on fire, looking like they're on top of the world right now.
Yeah, I mean, they gained promotion in 2019. The first year in the Premier League, they struggled a bit. They almost got relegated again with a 17th place finish. But since then, they've been managing. They've been able to hit like a 9th place. What else? Let's see. 11th, 14th, 7th, and right now they're currently in 3rd. And yeah, it's dope to see. I mean, now it's more competition for the league.
All right.
They have good squad depth. They have guys that can come in, play. They legit got 2 wingers. They got Bali and what's his name?
Diaby.
Diaby. They got the donker on the bench, you know.
I
and
loved him at Wolves, man.
great player at Wolves. And surprisingly, I feel like that could be a player that should be starting in the Premier League, but it's tough. You got Douglas Costa and what's his name?
Douglas
Kamara?
Luiz.
Douglas Luiz. Man, I keep messing up their names, bro.
all
It's too
good.
many Douglas, this, that, Costa, yeah, Diego, you know, like. But
Who did you say?
get it.
Kamara. Yeah, what a signing.
Kamara,
Yeah, really good.
great signing. So definitely difficult to
John
start
McGinn.
over them.
Jeez.
Yeah, John McGinn with the only goal for the game, and that's his 4th goal of the season. He's a dog.
Yeah. I mean, these two. This was a big game because these were like the top two of the top 3 teams as far as form goes. You know, Man City's really been struggling lately. So has Tottenham in the past few games, other than this one. But I saw the Luton versus Arsenal game midweek, and I saw Raya make some dreadful mistakes, like literally tossing in 2 goals in for Luton. And I was surprised he got the start. Then again, Mikel has a big problem under his hand that he pretty much created because if you bench Raya and put in Ramsdale for the 2 mistakes he makes, then it's like you're promoting a culture in the team. Hey, you make a mistake, you're on the bench. But then again, if you're Ramsdale, you're looking at your coach like, hey, look at the guy you brought in. He's making mistake after mistake. I know I haven't been perfect, but look what I did for you guys last season. Let me get a shot, and he still doesn't get one. What does Ramsdale have to do? And how does this affect Ramsdale as far as his future at the club, the Euros, all of that?
Affects everything, you know. To get selected to play in the England squad, I would hope that they select players that play consistently and not just pick players based on name and what they have done. And I feel like right now for him, he's looking on the way out. It seems like they found their new keeper. Ramsdale was starting in the beginning, and now they're going with Raya. It's clear as day that they want Raya to start because I haven't seen Ramsdale play a game in a while, man. So, I mean, it is what it is. It's not a problem. I'm pretty sure other teams in the Premier League can use him, and he's still a great goalkeeper. And if he does move, he has a chance to prove that he's better than Raya. Because right now, he can't prove that at Arsenal.
That is true. That is true, man. I mean, it's tough for Ramsdale because I thought he was very promising. But better news for Arsenal. Saka makes his 150th appearance for Arsenal, which is pretty cool. We'll get into the game, but like you were saying about Aston Villa, I mean, I saw some stats. I'm going to read some stats out right here. They have used the least amount of players this season.
They've what?
Used the least amount of players this season, which they have players on the bench. They have these new signings like Zaniolo on loan from Galatasaray. They have
I haven't seen him, yeah.
He's on the bench. You know, they can rotate throughout Diaby, and they have many players, even with the injuries they have, like Tyrone Mings and stuff. Surprising to see that, but you got to respect Unai Emery. He has a style of play, played at high line, high pressure, and it's certainly working. They've caught their opponent the most in the Premier League. They've caught their opponent offsides the most in the Premier League.
Yeah, I was gonna say they are good when it comes to the offside trap.
Yep.
If you watch the game, they got them towards the second half, but you can see that they play with a high line defensively, and it's good. I mean, what's his name? Paulo Torres and Diego Carlos. I think they did really good first half. There was I was thinking oh, Diego Carlos did really good. He was standing out to me, and then I'm seeing little mistakes that he made that Arsenal could have went and scored.
Another thing I found out about Aston Villa, they give away the least amount of shots when it comes down to their mistakes playing out the back. The second least in the entire league, and that's surprising because a team that likes to play out the back and take risks and press and play a high line, you'd see more mistakes. Like some of the people that's making the most mistakes is like Liverpool, Arsenal, just because there's mistakes that's going to happen. The least amount of mistakes are the teams that like Crystal Palace, West Ham, who don't play out the back. Or Nottingham Forest, just hoof it up and hope nothing happens and keep it up on there. So it's very, very, I guess you can say surprising, but very, good to see that they're like sharp. When they play the ball out the back, they're playing it back. And that's probably why they brought Pau Torres, because he's really good on the feet. And then it's a good
He used to play
compliment
for them too, I believe.
for Unai Emery. They played
No, I'm
at
saying for
Villarreal.
Aston Villa.
Pau Torres.
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
I think he did. Don't
thought he-
quote me, but I think he did.
I think he came from Villarreal, and that's where the Unai Emery Pau Torres link came back back in their days over there. But it's a good combination because you got Pau Torres that can play, like start the plays, and then you got the dog, Diego Carlos, who will make a tackle and do what's needed. But Konsa deserves a shout, taking Matty Cash's spot at right back, doing really well. And Digne is going to run up and down that left flank and really cause some problems and cause some lack of balance for the opponent.
And then they got Mourinho back too, so they could alternate him and Digne.
I just hope Digne stays because I got Digne on my fantasy team, man. He's picking up some points for me, man.
I mean, I don't know. I can't tell you who's better. I just feel like they're gonna have to share minutes.
We'll have to see, man. We'll have to see. He did get a few minutes this game, but yeah. As far as the game goes,
Oh yeah, go ahead. I was gonna say one thing.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say Aston Villa. I have it right here. Are the only club in the EPL to drop zero points when they're in the league. So when they're winning, they win the game.
So they don't draw when they
win.
Season.
They don't lose when they start off with a goal.
I know what you're saying.
You see what I'm saying?
When they start off with a goal, it's like a guaranteed win.
Yeah, guaranteed.
That's crazy.
So
this season.
So yeah, against Arsenal, that's actually pretty big because Arsenal had some really good chances throughout the game.
Yeah.
One guy that surprised me with not finishing is Odegaard.
Yeah, he has some chances, bro.
And those chances in a 6-yard box is for Odegaard. He finishes those all the time. And yeah, I'm surprised. First half, Jesus lays a ball off to him. I'm not too sure why he didn't just bang it up in the corner, but it was kind of soft. And even in the second half, I think Havertz gave him one and he kind of whiffed it. So that's one player that surprised me by not finishing.
Yeah, Arsenal, I don't want to make it look like it's like a downer season for them, but they are a little disappointing because we did see last year where they were a little bit more attacking, more progressive, more just cohesive, a little bit more fluid.
Yeah.
And we're starting to see things break down where they'll get to the final third and not make that pass or not finish that chance that they should have. Like Jesus and Martinelli, combined, they have 4 goals this season. For Arsenal to finish with the title as they're contending for, these are the players that are going to need to score. Saka has 5 goals, but you're not going to
He has 11 goal contributions.
Saka. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So,
and I'm pretty sure Trossard probably has more than Jesus.
I don't think Trossard... Yeah, he might.
And
Nketiah has 5.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, you need your starters to step up and contribute, not only just by style of play, but produce some numbers. You know what I'm saying? You can't rely on Saka and these are Rice and Odegaard to hold up the team for 2-3 seasons in a row. You know what I'm saying? These other guys got to come in. And Jesus, you got some experience under your belt. You got 4 Premier League championships under your belt. You need to start showing some stuff. You need to start finishing. I know that's not his strong suit, but come on. We need to see some stuff.
I mean, when he first started at Arsenal, it seemed like he was going to do that. You know, he scored a lot of goals and then going on injury and coming back, it just seemed like he can't really produce. So, with Martinelli not producing as well this year, on stats at least, because I feel like as far as playing on the pitch, it's not like he's making bad decisions. It's not like he's not going to goal, and he's not making good runs. But with Martinelli not scoring, it kind of puts more pressure on Jesus too.
Right.
So if that keeps going, I don't think Jesus finds himself starting, or they end up investing into someone else. That's gonna come in and actually bang in, 15 to 20 goals a season.
Yeah, there's been lots of speculation and talk of, hey, is Jesus the guy for Arsenal to win the league? Because you're going to need some players to score some big goals, 15, 20 goals a season. And the talks of Ivan Toney looking for a move, or even these big names. I don't know if Arsenal's going to drop the cash, but Victor Osimhen and all these other guys, many options. Boniface, if he ends up leaving, there's many other options, but Jesus is going to have to produce some numbers, like I'm saying, because his spot isn't solidified.
Yeah.
And there's other guys that's starting to look a lot better than they were in the beginning of the season. Like Havertz is starting to get into the flow of things, it looks like. So, we even seen how Arteta likes to play. Like, Tomiyasu will start one game, Ben Moore might not start a game. Zinchenko don't have his place locked down. In the beginning of the season, Gabriel was getting benched. So, it really just depends, like, who's really performing.
Yeah.
In this Arsenal squad, and it's good to see some competition. We just don't want it to overflow into some contentious behavior between the players.
Yeah.
But as far as Aston Villa goes, I think Martinez played really well, made some big saves. I think a shot against
made
Odegaard.
a mistake too. He made a pass that Arsenal could have came and finished too, but I think he still had a good game.
Yeah, overall, I think pretty good
that was
game.
second half.
It was unfortunate to see Bailey come off at halftime. Looked like he had a little injury that probably picked up. Hopefully he can get back because he's in really good form.
Oh yeah,
Man,
he had a good game against Man City.
And a couple games before that, really just putting Diaby on the bench because Bailey's just performing at a high level, which is nice. But hopefully he gets better. Aston Villa, yeah, I mean they get 1-0 win. Arsenal had their chances. It's not like they didn't have chances; you just have to finish them. But with Aston Villa winning this game, that pushes them up into third. Arsenal drops down to second. Is Aston Villa a real, like I'm talking about real deal, title contender this season? Up against the likes of Man City, Liverpool, Arsenal.
It's a pretty tough question. But as far as results, it seems like it. They're taking points away from Arsenal and Man City. You're talking about the title favorites, at least. I don't want to count them out, but I also want to be, honest too. I don't think they have a chance of winning the league. I do think they can stay in the top four at least. Mm-hmm. Newcastle kind of dimmed down a little bit with their injury situation. Man City, problems with Holland right now, at least as far as injury, and just the team in general. Without Rodri, they don't do well. They're missing a few midfielders. Defensively, they don't look the same. So, who knows? Maybe they can.
Yeah, I mean, they're performing really well against the big clubs, against Arsenal, Man City, like you said, Chelsea and Tottenham. From those 4 games, they picked up 12 points and beat them all. So, against the big dogs, they're performing. At home, 15 straight wins. You know what I'm saying? In that stretch, only 7 goals conceded.
Yeah.
So they're good offensively when they score, like you said with that stat. When they score, they're winning, guaranteed. And they're not conceding goals. They have a really good back line. They have a really good cohesiveness and style of play, offside trap and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's really looking like they can do it. I don't think they're going to win it per se, but I think they're going to push these guys to the very end. Yeah. They might come off 3 or 4 points. Like I think the title race is going to be between 1 and 3 points between number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4.
I mean, that's what it's looking like. We have, a different team in first place every other week.
Right.
And, like Liverpool, people count us out. I didn't even think we were going to be at that, spot. But look at us. Even with injuries, we're still producing. So this year is going to be a surprise. I like it, honestly, because I don't want to go on and continue to watch a league knowing who's going to win.
Right.
Because that's not entertaining to me, at least, and I'm not a fan of that club. So if it was Liverpool, all right, cool. I understand. But it's City that we're talking about.
Right.
So, Unai Emery, he has the respect of his players. McGinn was actually saying that he also said he wants people to pay attention, have detail, play with passion. But if you don't, he'll bring in people that can play with passion.
Yeah, like I'll go in the transfer market and go find someone to replace you.
So maybe that, that fuels. I mean, maybe it fueled his players to be a better team, but also with his tactics and his awareness and his ability to coach. I just think he's a great manager, very successful in the past with Sevilla, Villarreal, even with Arsenal. They brought him to the Europa League final.
Yeah.
So I mean, he has 4 Europa Leagues on his belt.
He has 3 in a row with Sevilla. He has 1 with Villarreal. I think he has 4. But, I mean, he's even done more than that. I think he used to be a player. He used to be a midfielder, and he, had a knee problem or something. He had to retire.
Yep.
And then he became the
coach. Played
at
Real Sociedad, right? I'm not too sure. I believe he did.
Played, but he coached Lurca Deportivo, some team we don't know. But he brought them to La Liga. Yep. Then he went to Almeria, brought them to La Liga for the first time in their history. Went to Valencia, had a good stint. Came in 3rd when Barca and Real Madrid were on the top of the world. Like you said, Sevilla 3 in a row. Went to Arsenal, obviously we know. Went to PSG, won 4 trophies in a year, which is kind of crazy because when's the last time you saw PSG win 4 trophies in a year in the French league? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. They have the easiest league and they're still not winning every single trophy.
4 trophies?
Win. Yeah, it was like the French Cup, the league, obviously. This other mini French Cup, like the Carabao Cup of France, and there was some other one. Probably like a Super Cup, in the beginning of the season. But 4 trophies is 4 trophies, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
And obviously what he's doing right now, taking 17th place. Was it 17th place? When
Aston Villa. Yeah.
When Gerrard left?
I'm not too sure.
Pretty much in a relegation conversation.
Yeah, yeah.
When Gerrard left and brought them up to, European competitions and now looking for Champions League position. So really good from him.
He's the type of guy that you want because he's a long-term coach. Mm-hmm. Coming in when Arsene Wenger left at Arsenal, it was a difficult task. I don't care what manager went in, you were going to have problems.
Yeah.
And, he gave Saka his chance to start playing. He gave him his start. Martinelli came up the ranks, and then he bought Saliba. So he kind of molded that team a bit.
That core.
Yeah. But he couldn't finish the project, due to, some bad circumstances.
Yeah, didn't have enough time. What I like about him, he has the system. It's he has a system in place, and he follows it. And that can bring the best out of players, especially if you're not a crazy talented player, because you're going to allow the system to make you look better because you're working cohesively as a team. You're seeing the teams that he's managed, Villarreal, Sevilla, even Aston Villa. They're not the best players in the world, but when they work together, they look like the best team in the world. And at the end of the day, it matters which team wins, not which player wins.
Yeah. They don't look like that's a good point. They don't look like a bunch of individuals on the team. So that's what's going to be the difference maker, for top 4 at least. Because when you talk about top 4, United and all them other teams, I mean, you got players like in United. It's just individual players that are having good moments, Even at City, maybe a couple players. It's not a team game right now. As far as team play, Aston Villa looked the best, and Liverpool looked pretty good too.
I'll say Tottenham.
Tottenham right now, even though they haven't had the best results recently, but they're just coming off from a win. But even with those results, you can see and be like, all right, yeah, this team, they're real deal.
They have a style of play. They have an identity. They behind their coach. And those are the ones that's going to make some noise against the big dogs like Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man City. So it's going to be interesting this season to see. But all I know is that my predictions for the top 4 were just terrible looking back at it. So
yeah, I mean,
it's good to see,
it's a good thing, though, because now you're being caught surprised, and now you get to watch something that's different,
Yeah, well, I am caught surprised, but Chelsea in 12th place right now. I will tell you that. So.
I'm not surprised. I've been waiting for this day, been praying for this day.
Craziness.
Yeah.
Congrats to Aston Villa, Arsenal. You get the loss, but better luck next week.
Yep.